So underrated. Trying to bring us to a game number 3. The question I start the night off to you, Jamerson, is can they do it?
I mean, they had him in the first half. Here, though, Bind was the worst look for underrated, right? They're not changing anything as well. This is the same composition that they ran. Retro winning that duel up against Incredible. Take a look at this angle, though. Bomb Buddy spots him out. He knows there's one on the left, and they cash that out.
The corpse falls right on through the port. Way too French. 3 players alive. Underrated. Just 2. Way too French, though. Have already done the job. Spike goes down. 2 for the retake.
Yeah, Hughes also has the heal for him, and so they're going to be at 100 HP. Melio sitting all the way back now over by Showers. Got the camera out to not entirely too sure what angle that's checking.
Well, you know.
It looks as confused as I am. What? Where? Oh.
Trouble. Bang. Oh, did not expect it to go that way or that way. Angus. Ain't.
No.
Oh, wow. Underrated.
That's not supposed to happen. He knew. He saw the shoulder. It was a slow peek. It wasn't like it was a fast peek or anything. He knew exactly that he was coming from that angle. And then to lose the 1v2 in U-Haul, that's not supposed to be something you lose.
Not at all. I mean, that was, and that's why I like games like this. I grew up playing Counter-Strike. A lot of my esports career is with a MOBA, but even in the MOBA that I played, it was Smite. It was, skill shot oriented. Everything tactically on the paper was lined up for way too French, and underrated just played better. And that is so appealing to me in esports, man. I love that. This, I don't know if I love. Way too French, 5 players strong. Just walking up long. 1 goes down. 2 goes down. The 3rd doesn't, but retro. Let's go. The judge for 3. And it's a 2-0 lead for underrated.
Underrated, consistent, though. Taking these pistol rounds again. And, of course, the ensuing anti-eco round, as we've got double operator already by underrated. Okay. Not going to run the double operator. Darn. They're just going to be running the solo. But they do have 2 judges in play. It's going to be Shanks and Retro. Shanks in that same position. That's, oh boy. Double judge over here on the B site?
Interesting. I expected 1 on Showers, 1 in Hookah. Instead, it's the op going Showers. That seems curious. That said, pop, easy peasy. And the wall. 3 players coming up long, thinking about the port. P.S. Bomb still at home. Way too French, 4 versus underrated's 5. B's being pushed. They have no bomb. Incred from the corner is able to take down Shank standing up there in Hookah. Meal will fire the pop shots, but Hughes finds him with the real gun. Kev from a distance off the backside. And so 3 players for underrated and just 2 from way too French. They have gone back, picked up the spike. And B will be the site one more time, but I've criticized this very popular, very normally successful approach. Leaving the spike at home cost way too French at least 1 player's life.
Yeah, it took them a lot of time, and now this rotation already 2 players ready, healed up now as the peak comes out, and it's good for JMO. Now it's just a 1v3.
Spike is planted, and well, so is the Cypher player. Underrated will go ahead and pick this one up. Diffuse to the Sova? Oh, I guess Retro already had full ult.
Yeah, just spreading the love there. And
yeah, I was curious. Because usually, if I'm looking at this team, I mean, everybody's going to say Sage is the most important super ult. What what do they officially call it in Valorant? Is it ultimate?
I'm not sure. I just always just called it ultimate.
Yeah, it probably is just ult. The Brawl Stars in me says super, but yeah, Brimstone doesn't have it. I would probably give it over to Brimstone, but either way. Ooh, big Sova arrow coming out from Kev. Sees the entire push onto A main. Players are going to fall back onto the site and make the rotation coming away from B. Way too French, looking to make their move. They quickly bust into main, but now they slow down. They're kind of trapped here, especially if Underrated are able to make the flank from around the other side here, Jay.
Yeah, take a look. Shanks got the angle. He could peek out. He's even cleared the wall. Don't know what Way Too French is waiting for here.
Again, this is the phrase is kind of corny, but it always fits. Hesitation leads to devastation. You're going to get stuck here. The Sheriff trade isn't good. Neither is that one. 2 in the pocket for the Phoenix player. I think that's a 3rd even on top of it. Everybody just getting hauled off from U-Haul. And the flawless victory as the Sova comes from the other side. Yeah, man, I don't know, dog. That you walked in, that U-Haul is a panini press. They got sandwiched there.
I think my silence is the best dismay that I can express. I was so confused about that. Kind of uncharacteristic play coming out from Way Too French. I don't know if the idea was to just like explode out of U-Haul, but they got slowed down too much, and then they had no idea what to do from there. Let's see how they approach this next round, though. They're going to play a little bit more default across the map. Looks like there's a push coming out to go ahead and control that ultimate orb over by Showers. Oh, Kev wins that duel.
Mule tossing an arrow out there. The Sova ult. Trying to go for it. Lakers Axe is still the #1 knife, by the way. Even with this, even with the Dragino guns coming out, I think the purple and gold axe is still the best.
Out of charges.
Sova's coming through Showers. Everybody else coming through short. No vision. On just able to grab one. Melio trades it on out. 2 players falling back through U-Haul. Hughes walk it up. Has the correct spot. Even has to flick to it. But does a great job of doing so. And a great ult from Shanks. Oh my goodness, was that on point. See, the Phoenix play here is impressive. And a good old-fashioned dieback. Nice job. Spike carrier killed.
Retro got caught trying to go for that res.
Whack. I guess when Shanks got the 1 player in U-Haul, they didn't realize there was a secondary.
But he got res there. Who was the reser? Oh, Shanks. Take a look at the tempo on this. They were not expecting him to have been pushed through. Oh. And Shanks picks up the quad kill. Way Too French. What is going on?
Dude, I said this before. And I just, maybe I'll talk directly to chat here. Like, yes or no, dude. Phoenix players, 90% of the time, are noobs, right? They're just not great. Even when we see competitive players at our fight night, you know, the players that would opt for Phoenixes, like the duelists, we wind up seeing play Reyna or Raze, even specifically Raze on this map. So seeing Shanks come out and play Phoenix to, you know, close to its full potential, utilizing the flame walls, making use of the run back in the right spots. I mean, this character looks really impressive on the offensive side of things for sure. Or, I mean, hell, he's playing defense here. This character just looks impressive in the hands of Shank right now.
And what's impressive is that spray down from Mange through the smoke, and he does get cleared out, though. Ooh, Way Too French. Now, finally, with a big opportunity to take a round here in the half.
Big opportunity as they steal the blue one. Incred's going to fall on back. One player coming from the back gets hit by the dart. Melio going to hide out here. Nice job. Shanks is able to rush. Again, it's the play style. Shanks is just always kind of rushing players down and getting it done that way. Nice try to stick it, but Retro falls down. Shanks finds another kill. And the anti-eco, or the eco rather, from Way Too French. So they find themselves on the board here. After 6, it's 5-1. Way Too French just couldn't find it. Now they do.
Yeah, what's troubling is that Way Too French are still struggling to deal with the tempo that Shanks is really playing at. So this is going to be a different look for him, picking up that operator himself, still on that Phoenix. He's going to try and go for that quick peek over at Long B.
We'll see how it works out. The rest of the squad the rest of the squad going to join them. Everybody, Long B. Single player going up through Hookah. It's going to be Raze. As to be expected, Raze, fantastic in close quarters. Incred trying to walk up here. Firewall going to be put on down. Incred, though, finds Shanks. Tiny angle right there. The wall destroyed. Retro destroyed. Smoke going to be popped down. Incred walking onto the site first. Shoots into the cubby. Nobody going to be there. From the corner, JMO gets one. And the follow-up. Neil with a little friendly fire. We won't talk about it. JMO falling back. Cut down to 21. 2 players coming around the corner. Can't get either.
Wow.
But it's Kev and Ainge who are waiting behind him to take down the 2 aggressors. Beautifully baited by Underrated. And they're able to take this one. That's their 6th.
JMO just doing a great job of retreating. Frag, retreat, and baiting them all the way back there as the rotation comes out from Underrated. The 2 players that are playing over at A, of course, just ready, lined up to go for that trade. And Underrated right back into it. Taking a look at Way Too French, we do have at least 1 buy on board for them. And man, this offense is looking really, really bad currently. As Kev tries to go for a cheeky peek over. Okay.
Don't forget, ye of little faith, not necessarily you, Jamerson. This is what game number 1 looked like. Oh, Meal! Born to shoot through the wall. Love that stuff. Really do, man.
They've got a res to work with as well. Underrated Dune. So we'll see. Jones going to be used to clear out U-Haul as 2 people push in. It looks like they will go for that res onto Ange. As they peek out, Shanks will get that kill onto Mill. And it is all just Underrated at this point. Incredible finally answers back, but it's not going to be enough.
The fire. Oh, is he? Okay. I thought maybe. Oh, look at that. 5 seconds exactly. They should give you extra money for nailing that.
That's pretty pleasing, I'm not gonna lie. Double operator once again though for Underrated now, as Mill will be picking up one of his own for the side of Way Too French here on this buy round. And man, 7 rounds in a row for the defense here for Underrated. It's Way Too French. Just they haven't been able to really set up the post plans properly here. As it looks like they are indicating that, you know, they want to try and poke and prod first over here at the B site. Have got enough of the A pushes now.
Location received. Shank's going to be known. By the way, I asked our French friends in chat. We are both wrong. It is neither meal nor mill, but mile.
There are 2 L's. I know. No.
It's a different language. You lose.
I will pronounce it with like the Spanish ella before I say that's mile.
Mia. Okay. I will say mile. Oh, it's funny. Honestly, I might be just getting punked. You never know, but
We never know.
way too French. Way too flailing about right now. That wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be. 4 players up, though. There's Sage down for the count. And it looked like way too French. We're all about that base. The B site. And they've slowed it down. Still about that B site. And the Cyphers are still off playing their own game. Like they have been all day.
Underrated really have no trouble here on their defense, especially with Shank starting it off all like that. Again, it's coming with these off-tempo plays, honestly. Shanks is playing at a speed that looks like way too French aren't used to. Like, who makes the kind of pushes that Shanks does? We don't see that kind of often.
And that's what I'm getting at. Like, he's playing... If he was playing, and sure, the difference in characters, the difference in agents when it comes to Valorant is intentionally low, right? You're a smoke character, you're a flash character, but like everybody gets a vandal, and that's very much intentional. But you still want to play the playstyle in a certain way, right? Like Sova doesn't want to be entry frag because you want to make use of the information that he's able to grab, and quite the opposite. Phoenix wants to play on these odd pushes. Who sits there is what you want your opponent to scream when you're pushing with your Phoenix player. So
who pushes that? Yeah.
I love to see that. Like, why would you even be there? Because I'm Phoenix and I'm supposed to make you say that.
All right. 4 or 5-man push here coming out from short, but Kev's got this angle set up.
Walking back privately.
That's actually quite the molly.
Oh, wow. Look how low this one player is. Who is that? That's the Rays mania. All right. Ouch. All right. Not going to be ouch. Still plenty of players trying to push through this smoke, and they will do that. One for the money and the third. Don't even need the show. But Shanks will get taken down. Ainge is there for the follow-up and taken care of.
And that's just a good read coming out from Underrated, you know? Holding that angle with the operator, having 3 players, I believe, on the A site for that defense. They just, like you said, it looks like they've got way too French kind of downloaded here on the offense.
Yeah. And it's man. Before I was saying that, you know, maybe Haven was the offensive tilted map. Both teams wound up doing really well on offense. Here, this is not an offensive tilted map. I can say that pretty confidently. And I think Underrated are aptly named. Nice shot there from Retro. I think they are an offensive tilted team, if that makes sense. I think their offense is fantastic in juxtaposition to their defense, which is not a slouch by any stretch of the imagination, Jay. But, I mean, really, their offense is impressive.
Nia able to pick up the kill on his counterpart onto Kev.
You will not kill my
I'm just doing that out of spite right now. Use will go ahead and res him up, and this is the best opportunity they've got. They've got the man's advantage, but Retro answers right on back. Incredible goes down. They find nothing.
Oh no, did Sova damage his teammate? I think he did, but Shanks is able to find one in the sky, using Melio answer back. 2 players up for Underrated, way too French, finally on a good spot. Spike gonna be planted, 1 player in the back. 2 players to defend it. One's gonna take elbow, both are gonna be here.
I wonder
Should
if
they split up?
Recon arrows shortly or not to be able to spot this one out.
Oof. Wonderfully played. Really wonderfully played. They did the Dr. Pepper, and they just waited. Is that a regional thing? You ever, oh man, it's like
Dr. Pepper versus Mr. Pibb?
No, it was like block parties and such. There was like a song that would come on, and you would have to like pick a partner, and every time they'd say something, you'd have to do something. Like the cha-cha, and Dr. Pepper was back to back. No?
I can't say I know what that is. I've been to a few
must be-
block parties here, but
Must be a New York thing. We grew up doing all like that stuff all the time.
well, overall, I feel like block parties as a whole is more of a Eastern kind of culture thing.
Yeah.
Like in Los Angeles, we had some, but
We just need an excuse to throw a party for the block.
yeah.
Cage triggered.
All right, way too French. Just desperately need a third round here in the half. They did a great job of coming back on Haven from a 9-3 deficit, but you know this one's even much more dire. They need this win, but right now underrated going to try change things up, pushing up through mid, narrowly missing one. Did Shanks, and he's going to go ahead and back off as looks like the rest of the push is getting set up over here by Banana.
Wall's going to do a job and stop players coming up through long. Ooh. Shot gonna miss. Wall's gonna fall. Way too French pushing on in. There's an ultimate coming out from Incred, who grabs one with that and one with the gun. Comes around and gets taken down himself, and so it's a 1 versus the Maw.
Oh my
Scrap
God.
is 4, baby. Oh man. Scoreboard's not working, right? How many kills does this man have already? 23. He's the only one that matters, apparently, and he's got 23 kills.
And I think I don't know exactly how the bug works. I think it just shows the top frag.
Yeah, it just shows top frag.
So that's oof. 9 frags, I believe, is what it showed Incredible having.
Yes, he was 9 and 11. So
Well then, way too French. They came back from a 9-3 deficit. Can they come back from a 10-2 deficit? That's an even more difficult ask. Oh boy, let's see what they've got here on their offense.
giving it a shot here. Players have pushed up all the way down there. Look at that. All right. Bomb still left at home. Incred just kind of waiting.
Barrier created.
So a return here, away from the B site. Spike will be picked up and it will run to A. 3 players standing at B from way too French. And only 2 on defense here at A. They're both in showers, or at least nearby. Wall goes up and standard plan here.
Down.
Ooh.
Miles able to look on up, and Incred picks one up as well. So it's 2 so far. Melio falls down. Ainge. Beautiful shots out of showers. 3 players up from underrated to defend against way too French's 3-man retake. And they're all on the left side of the back.
All right, here we go. They are going to be approaching from the same angle, though. This is going to be a difficult one now, as we've got Nano with a huge paint shells there. Incredible, even going to go ahead and molly off that angle as he goes for the peak, taking out one.
Strong molly, but the unnecessary peak for sure. The ace from Ainge, but he falls to the flames. And that's number 2 here for way too French.
Worth.
Absolutely, but
Just worth.
Here.
kind of funny looking.
Yes, this should do.
So, underrated have been really good about their pistol rounds. They've been really good about the ensuing anti-eco rounds. So, way too French need to pull something out of their hat here. And it looks like it's going to be a 3-man peak over by Hookah. One already spotted out. Shanks picks up 2
man.
before he falls.
And Worth, you're screaming Worth? Absolutely. Shanks gets a 2 for 1. Retro gets a 2 for 1. And the rest of the team has their own little party. 2 players standing for underrated when they take that one. One away from pushing us to a game 3. Chad asked earlier, we're going to Ascent. We're not there yet. The large lady has not sung just yet. But with that in mind, Ascent. Looking at the way underrated plays offense, they'll be starting on defense, believe it or not. Underrated, that is. How do you feel about underrated chance on Ascent?
They're mixed. Definitely mixed. But if Shanks can keep up this performance, Ascent is, again, one of those maps where off-tempo pushes can really, really catch people off guard. The way they like to play mid, I think does work towards his benefit here. Now underrated, though. They're regrouping over by short A, and it looks like they're going to be ready to make that push. Ange picked up that ultimate orb and is able to get into cover just in time, but Mill is there. Takes out Ange.
Nice job. Easy play there. Retro is going to be aggressing from the high ground and the low ground. 4 players are up. The spike is down. Way too French. No options. Have to come into this one. 1, 2, 3 will be coming from the same angle, it looks like. Filtering into the site. Nano's going to grab 2 with the bomb bot. That's an LOL.
It's still a 3v3, and I don't know if they committed the molly quite yet onto this. So we'll see if it goes down.
It looked like they did. We saw him lining up before. Good molly in the shower. As player walks on through. Nano grabs the 3rd of the round. Hughes finds one of their own as well. And that's going to be the round. So way too French. Claw their way back into it. Try to claw their way back into it. No, that's going to be the game. Underrated. Puts up 13 above way too French's 2.
Wow.
Insane.
Do you see that, by the way? The combat score for Shanks.
So combat score, I do a lot of Rocket League, and game score doesn't really matter unless it's absurd. And I feel very similarly when it comes to combat score. I don't really care what your combat score is. Unless it's 422. Then I'm really interested.
Very few of, like, pro matches do we see individual